There are many ways to solve. We've solved via calculating, solving from one side of the equal sign to the other. We can also solve by graphing. To use the graphing to solve an equation, a equals b in one variable, x, where a and b are expressions, graph the equation y equals a and y equals b in the same coordinate system. As an example, we have 5x minus 9 equals 3x plus 7. Here a equals 5x minus 9 and b equals 3x plus 7. Find all intersection points, and the x-coordinate of those intersection points are the solutions of the equation a equals b. Okay, so equation 5x minus 9 equals 3x plus 7. So we can solve in just a typical format, meaning getting rid of something or everything to one side, right? Well, solving for x. Let's say we want to move everything to the left side, meaning the x variables first. So moving the x variable first means we gotta subtract 3 from both sides. And this will make it a positive, hence the reason why I selected the left side. You can select the right side and you should still get the same answer, but just on the opposite side. So 5x minus 3x gives us 2x. 2x minus 9 equals 7 on the right side then. Okay, so let's get rid of the 9 to solve for x. Meaning we're doing the opposite, right? It's negative 9, we're adding 9. So what we do to one side, we must do to the other. Okay, so 2x and then we have 9 minus 9 cancels out. 7 plus 9 gives us 16. So if 2x equals 16 then. Let's get rid of the 2 since it's multiplying with the x via division. So divided by 2 to both sides of the equal sign. 2 divided by 2 cancels out. 16 divided by 2 gives us 8. So overall, we're going to find out that our answer is 8. Or we've actually just figured it out. So do remember, we've seen this before. You may have seen this before, right? But now let's try splitting up the formula from before into two equations. The 5x minus 9 equals 3x plus 7. So now we're going to call it y equals 5x minus 9, one color. Different color, y equals 3x plus 7. So we have two different equations, okay? So, do remember that our slope, in this case, on the equation on the left side, we have 5. And y-intercept on the equation on the right side, negative 9. We can use this to graph, agreed? Because we're trying to graph. Slope and the y-intercept. Y-intercept is your starting point. Slope is how you move about on the graph. And remember, second equation on the right side, the blue one. We have the slope of 3 and y-intercept of 0, 7. So, in this case, let's build a table. Quick table. And let's pick some values, random values. Well, let's make it easy. 0 and 1, what easier values than those? Agreed? As we plug into the first equation. So substituting 0 for x. 5 times 0, 0. That gives us the y equals negative 9. Okay, we have the first solution. Second case scenario, when x equals 1. So substituting for an x value, placing a 1. 5 times 1 minus 9, so 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus 9 gives us negative 4. So when x is 0, we get negative 9. When x is 1, we get negative 4. Okay, so let's try plotting them. You're welcome to do a hand sketch. Hand sketch will work just fine. And do remember, label your positive y and x axis at the very least, okay? You're welcome to label the negative sides as well. Okay, let's try plotting the points that we just found. So, first point. And, well, reverse order, but it still works. We have our y-intercept of 0, negative 9, down at the very bottom. And our coordinate of 1, negative 4 is the second point that we have there. And let's try the same thing for the blue line now, or blue equation. Let's build a table, pick random values. Remember, make it easier. Since you're doing the work, easier is not a bad thing sometimes. So x and y value, x values that we pick, 0, 1, and substituting for the equation above, y equals 3x plus 7, now becomes y equals 3 times 0 plus 7 for the first case scenario. 3 times 0, 0. 0 plus 7, nice and easy, we get a 7. Second case scenario, y equals 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. So therefore 3 plus 7 gives us 10. So our two case values are, first case, when x is 0, we get 7. And when x is 1, we get 10. And now let's graph them on our table here. Okay, so there are 2 points. Y-intercept 0, 7. And the other coordinate we found, 1, 10. So 1 in the x, up 10. 2 blue dots on there. Well, it looks like we're going to run out of space when we try to graph this. Just by looking at those 2 dots, we get a rough idea. Let's make a line through them. So connect the dots and make a line that's continuous. I realize that if you drew a graph as small as mine, it may not fit for you either. So be aware of that. Sometimes it may not fit in the graph that you make at the beginning. Okay, so you may need to make a bigger one. But for this case, since I have enough space going up, I'll make a line through both of those dots. There it is. Okay, and roughly x value, there it is. That's where they intersect. Right at the top there, where you see my blue dot, very top. And roughly the x value is 8, approximately. We can visually see that the x value that we found earlier is correct. And we've just checked it with our graph here. It's roughly x equals 8.